Chelsea 2, Fulham 0. I don't know how, I don't know why, but someone was watching over us today, ladies and gentlemen. When I tell you I am exhausted, I feel like I played. I feel like I got kicked. I got pushed. I got bruised. I am battered from watching that. Early kickoff. Barely got the breakfast in. I got the chat on the watch along. Shout out the watch along. Shout out the chat. Shout out the super chat. Shout out the everybody. 4K. Man, them are asking me all sorts of madness. I'm not even going to repeat it. I don't think I want to. Everything about today was exhausting. Everything about today was exhausting, but we are thankful for the 3 points. Did we ride our luck? Oh, more than you can believe. On the balance of play, do we deserve that scoreline? No. But you know what? We taking it. We are taking it to the cleaners because that whole match there could have gone so differently. There's so many other outcomes. And this right here is the best outcome you could possibly get from playing how we played and what happened happening. The lineup goes out. It's basically carbon copy from the game against West Ham. So there's no issue with that. Now, I've been banging on about 3 strikers for 2 reasons. One, because we're in 4 competitions. We're off the back of a Club World Cup. There's going to be injuries, much more than last year, in my opinion. And also, we want to compete to the end, or I do at least want to compete to the end in all comps, and I don't want any excuses. And I also recognize that João Pedro, who was man of the match today, potentially with Caicedo, was really good off the striker against West Ham, scores, assists, scores again today, and helps Enzo Fernandez like you wouldn't believe defensively in that midfield pivot where he struggled massively in that first half. So as a 10, he might not play it the same way as Palmer, but boy oh boy does he have his use. Whether it's an extra man in the box crashing for a header, whether it's giving the centre-backs more to think about when they're occupied by the other striker, whether it's getting back into midfield and defending, whether it's clearing the ball off the line, drawing fouls in midfield when we're under pressure. João Pedro was absolutely immense, again, off the striker. This is not to say he can't play up front, but understand when João Pedro plays up front, like he did against Crystal Palace, it's a different type of striker up there. So if you want a combator, if you want an outlet, if you want someone to hit the percentage passes to the 50-50 passes into the channels and all, yeah, João Pedro, he can drift, he can move, but he wants it to feet, he's technical, he wants to play with the ball at his feet. We don't want to be playing Stoke City FC with João Pedro because he's a teched out guy. But if you do want someone else that can do that, that's where Liam Delap comes in. But now, and I hate to be vindicated so early, but I have to say this because I was crucified and cussed out online for this opinion. And Jackson, ironically gets the here we go to Bayern Munich. And don't get me wrong, there's good fees coming in for him. Loan fee, astronomical, outrageous, audacious loan fee that we've never seen before. And there'll be penalties if he doesn't go there on the option to buy. I'm not complaining about the finances, but I am not here to just talk about Chelsea's financial profits and progress. What about on the pitch? Are we stronger as a unit? Is the manager more tactically flexible? Does he have as many options that he needs for 4 competitions with Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Old Trafford, etc.? Christmas period, injuries, AFCON, World Cup. Does the manager have enough options up front to have no excuses? Did we weaken our team by not replacing Jackson up front? Because we won't. Do I have to see Tyreek George come off the bench and play out of position in a game where he had no say, no real service, no real impact or anything, influence, because he's not a striker and he's leaving anyway? So then it will be Neto. And then who knows, it will be Garnacho. I don't know who's going to go up front. Thankfully, the silver lining is that Delap is injured and there's an international break for 2 weeks. But how insane is it to see no striker on the bench, the striker that is playing in the 10 because he's actually able to play there and Palmer's injured, and look what you're left with. And everybody's just comfortable with that because the club went with that decision. I'm sorry, I'm not here to agree and nod my head yes to every single thing that the club does. I can disagree. Just the same way Arsenal fans can disagree with Arteta splashing out 65 million on Kai Havertz and having to replace him not so long after to actually get a real striker in. Clubs make mistakes, directors make mistakes, managers make mistakes. Jurgen Klopp wanted fucking Mario Götze and Julian Brandt instead of Salah and Mane. I'm not here to just, yes sir, free bags full sir, yeah, I agree with everything you say, drool coming out my mouth, I have no brain for myself, I can't think straight. I want 3 strikers for this very reason. Tactical flexibility to play 2 up front. Put Palmer on the right if need be. If Esteval is going through a rough patch, if Neto's needed on the left. I want 2 strikers, injuries. But anyway, so Delap's off, 9 minutes, 10 minutes in, George is up front. Does that change the way we play? I don't think we were playing pretty well anyway before Delap was out, but now George is up front. There's certain things you can't do. You can't cross aerially to George. You can't ask George to bully defenders and hold up the ball with guys on his back. There's certain things that George is not going to be able to do up front. He's going anyway. I'm not going to judge his performance. I'm not bothered. He's leaving to Roma on a permanent or somewhere else. Chelsea in that first half, Enzo Fernandez, my goodness gracious me. If I see that Enzo Fernandez has picked up man of the match from this performance, I am putting this in Bruno Fernandes realms. I'm putting this in Mohamed Salah stinker and hooked realms where these guys will not play well for 70 minutes. They won't have an influence. They'll be poor and then they'll turn up with the GA and everything will be okay. But I'm not going to forget the fact that in that first half, at halftime, I wanted him hooked for Andre Santos and I think rightly so. Enzo Fernandez in that first half was absolutely diabolical. And listen, we just come off the Club World Cup. So maybe players are tired. Maybe players aren't fit. I'm willing to understand and comprehend those things. But if they're not ready to play football, then they have to not be on that pitch. And we've got to use other options. Because this guy looked like he was hallucinating, discombobulating, dehydrated, dizzy, malnourished. He was not able to play football. Bare basics. Can you pass the football to your teammates? No. I'm going to kick it out of play. I'm going to take heavy touches. Every touch was a duel. He was like Agate out there. Every touch was a duel. Every duel, I am upset because he wasn't winning the duels either. He was leaving Caicedo on his own to defend. They were walking through our midfield. How many chances did Fulham create in that first half? Disallowed goal again, just like Palace, just like West Ham, right? We're towing the line in that first half. They're having these nearly moments. Last-ditch challenge from Gusto. Last-ditch block. Last-ditch interception from Caicedo or Pedro's getting back or Chalobah tossing shaky, right? Shaky and quaky for that goal that we conceded that didn't count in the end. You're showing Josh King onto his favoured foot instead of shuffling him out to the left on the weaker foot and tightening and lowering the percentage chances for Sanchez to concede by making that angle tight so he just has to defend his near post. It was poor defending. And I personally feel like it was a foul. Now, I've not watched it again on Chalobah, but I feel like it was a foul. I feel like he stood on his foot with his studs. If I'm wrong, please, Chelsea fans, correct me. I know the rivals are up in arms. Oh, cheated, paid the ref. It's robbery, VAR, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. But just let me know, Chelsea fans. Am I wrong? Chalobah, I felt like it was, when I watched it, a free kick for Chelsea. If I'm wrong, I have no problem admitting I'm wrong. But yeah, defensively, we were all over the place. Too easy to play through. Too much pressure on the back line. Too much pressure. And the midfield was caving in. And this is why, when George came on, he went up front and João Pedro had to stay in the 10. Because João Pedro was going up and down, up and down. The amount of work that João Pedro got through today, he's crashing the box. He's trying to create in between the lines. He's in midfield trying to help defend. And the wingers, they're not getting much service. So I could have counted maybe 2-3 times Neto and Esteval received the ball each on the flanks to try and make something happen. Because we just were not able to even get the ball up to that part of the pitch. Fulham were basically playing the game and we were following their footsteps. They were dictating to us how to play at Stamford Bridge. And we were just trying to keep up with Fulham for most of that first half, if not all of it. And really, players like Enzo Fernandez have got to dictate to Fulham. We have to dictate to Fulham. We're going to play this way and you're going to fall in line. But that wasn't happening. So it was an absolute car crash in terms of keeping the ball, controlling the game, forget about creating chances, forget about getting the ball to the front line, just even having some possession, taking the sting out of the game. So this is why I'm juggling between man of the match for Caicedo and João Pedro, because I just feel like they were left out there to die sometimes in this match by poor performances around them. And then obviously you could talk about Chalobah. Now, in the second half, Obviously, we get our goal before half-time. Let me just mention that. It's a great header from João Pedro. The one thing that Enzo Fernandez did well in this game was dead ball set-piece situations. Corners and obviously scoring his penalty. Both the corners. The first corner landed right on Leno's head, just about almost getting the goal. And then obviously the second corner, great header from João Pedro. Another header, fantastic to see. I'm praising João Pedro. I couldn't praise him any more than I already have. Defensively, attacking, technically secure, keeping the ball, trying to link things, and then the goal. Brilliant header. So we're going in 1-0, and I would have taken 0-0 at half-time, but we're going in 1-0. So again, thank you very much. And then second half, we were better in the second half. I don't think we were great. I don't think we were where we need to be, but we were better because we couldn't get any worse. We had spells where we had the ball a bit more. We obviously just didn't allow Fulham to run through us as much as we did in the first half. But it still, there's a lot of room for improvement. It's a penalty. Again, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Strike me down. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's a penalty. So a lot of people saying robbed, VAR, cheats, paid the ref. Now, I was dancing on stream because I was like, yo, we'll send you that, invoice us. We'll send you that within 24 hours, referee. Thank you very much for your help today. But in my opinion, he got his decisions right. He got the big decisions right. That's handball. When is that not handball? They're checking for Caicedo's tackle. It's clean. He got the ball. They're checking for João Pedro's handball after the incident of Bassi or whoever it was. Handball. Cross from Chalobah. Your hand is in an awkward position. It's not natural. You're not facing the ball. You've turned your back and your arm's up here. You've blocked the cross. How is that not a handball? And I'm not saying that you're telling me it's not, but some people in the watch along were telling me it's not handball. Again, let me know in the comments as the referee got that wrong. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm not trying to be shameless. I genuinely believe these are correct decisions today. I don't think our performance deserved a comfortable win, but the decisions were correct that gave us the comfortable win. It's a penalty. So we get the penalty. I thought João Pedro might take it for my FPL points. I got him captain. It is what it is. Enzo Fernandez sticks it in right down the middle. I think that kind of tells you that maybe not the most confident today. Just didn't even want to go in the corners for the pen, just straight down the middle. I was really worried he might miss it, but he put it in. And yeah, again, his performance in the first half couldn't get any worse. So it was slightly better in the second. But in general, it's alarming. It was alarming, and we got the international break. Hopefully he comes back more capable, more ready to play his level, because that's not his level. We make our substitutions. We start to lock things down. George comes off. Some people think that's a double sub. Is it embarrassing for the kid? For me, I'm going to choose to see this as he's getting a standing ovation. It's his last game at Stamford Bridge. He's getting applauded off the pitch. He wasn't getting any service. He wasn't helping us defensively because he's not going to be an outlet. He's not going to hold the ball up. He's not going to win aerial duels. He's not going to help us defend set pieces. So he's not the quickest to run in the channels. And tactically, it made all the sense in the world. Maybe, yes, it's a bit embarrassing. I don't know if he's happy with it or not. But tactically, it makes all the sense in the world. So I'm just going to say standing ovation, and I wish you the best of luck on your permanent transfer elsewhere. But Chelsea in the end are, bringing on Santos, bringing on James, bringing on, players to help see out the win. And that's what we did. And I'm happy with that. My thing is now, that performance, we need to improve. We need to kick on. We need to show more. We need to show better. Oh, Mum's calling me. Hi, Mum. Yeah, I'm just recording. I'm just recording. I'll get Emma to let you in. Okay. All right, one sec. Oh, she's not here. Okay. Mum's outside. So let's get this wrapped up. Just, guys, we were resilient. Shout out to Gusto. Big defensive moments from him at times. Shout out to Chalobah. Big passes from the back line. Really good passing. You can see he's comfortable passing from the right side of a back three. In the middle, is he going to split lines? Is he going to play those kind of Colwell passes? How much are we missing Colwell? Our build-up was pretty stinky in the first half. Is he just that responsible for our build-up in the first phase in terms of how we play out from the back? We might have to start placing even more importance on him than we thought. And then obviously you've got Cucurella just coming in there as well. But yeah, if you play Chalobah on the left, you're not getting those left foot sweeping passes that we were getting from the right. Played some really nice passes, did the same last season. At the end of the day, the striker situation, you know my thoughts. You know my thoughts with the wingers on the left-hand side. I don't look at this game and think again, we lack Garnacho, we lack this and that. But look, I need to stop talking about it now because it's over. He's a Chelsea player. He was at the stadium today. And yeah, he's going to be available for Brentford. So let's see. The transfer business at the end, let's see how it stacks up. If we get Lopez, I don't really understand why we brought in this Buenanetti guy from Brighton. How many 10s do we need? Santos is an Enzo 8. That's what we were told in the presses. That's what Maresca said. He can come in for Enzo. Now people are telling me Lopez is for Enzo. I don't know anymore. Shut the window. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the comments on this video. Leave your thoughts below. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys whenever I see you guys. I'm so tired. I'm a broken man. I need my rest. I need my sleep. I need my vitamins. I need my minerals. Laters. Chelsea 2, Fulham 0 in a bit, people. Peace. We got away with that one.